Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Dead True Podcast. My name is Jimmy.
It's Casey.
Steven.
Dawn.
We got Mr. Will Turpin from Collective Soul tonight. Everybody give him a big round of applause. What's going on, guys?
Yay! I'm fangirling.
Right? Me too.
You're fangirling Casey.
Me too.
Everybody's fangirl.
We are.
God.
Right. No, we're definitely super honored, Will, for you taking some time out and joining us tonight. Thank you so much.
Oh, dude, glad to be a part of it. I saw you guys at the Nick and Norman's in Sonoya, and we talked about doing this. I'm glad I'm here, man.
Yeah, man.
Awesome.
And I missed you, man. I left right before they got to meet you.
Oh yeah, whatever, Steven.
I did. And I was on Casey's shirt though. I was on Casey's t-shirt, so that kind of counts.
Yeah,
that's
right.
Yep. But
I love going up there and watching the premieres and the finales. It's so cool. It's really cool.
Okay, so you've done them before in the past.
Absolutely, yeah, nice. Man. My son turned me on to this show. Maybe, was it Netflix that was the original?
Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
Maybe the fourth or fifth episode was out, and somehow my son had seen it, and I was hooked. The first episode, I was just hooked.
Nice.
The grainy original, hooked.
Oh, that's what I always say too. That grainy look in those early seasons.
Yeah, I think they filmed on actual film back in those days, right?
I think so.
Yeah, that's what gave it that look.
Just a great storyline, right?
oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
especially how Rick woke up in the prison. Woke up from his coma and everything, and how everything was just messed up. Well, who's your favorite character on the show, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of like asking me what my favorite song is that Collective Souls ever recorded. I don't know. Probably at this point, Carol. Because she's been the constant. Yeah, I'll go with Carol.
Yeah, she's definitely changed the most.
There you go, Jimmy.
Oh, I can't act any different. I don't like Carol.
I
I like old Carol. I like old Carol, but I don't like new Carol.
I don't know. If you have a kid, keep her away from Carol. Carol's gonna kill it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It's gonna off the kids.
Definitely not a good babysitter.
Oh yeah, definitely. But let's see. Where are you from originally? Where did Collective Soul get started?
We started. We were all graduates of Stockbridge High School in south side of Atlanta.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, and then you went.
Sonoya was like a ballpark we would travel to. That was a really far drive, and we were kids. Solid 30 minutes. That always seemed like get in a car and go somewhere to play. Sonoya was the place that was really far away from us. But yeah, and now I live in Peachtree City, close to you guys. But yeah, that's
cool.
where I still grew up, man. South side of Atlanta, and same high school. Small town story.
Right,
Oh, yeah.
right. Yeah, I'm down here in Valdosta. I know you guys have been down here a few times, like Wild Adventures. Yeah. That's like,
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever been to Wild Adventures?
Oh yeah, I stepped in there with actually my son just left. He was as soon as he left, I was like, man, I'm about to do this thing with you guys, and he would have been fun to have on the interview.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
You can come on later. You definitely are more than welcome to come back.
Yeah, and it was Tristan. It was actually the dude who turned me on to it. He must have been. How many years is it now? He was.
This 11. This is season 11.
11.
But is it 11 years? How many years has it been since it came out?
Yeah, it's been 11.
11 years.
2011, yeah.
So he's 23. So he was 12 years old, and he turned me on to it.
Oh wow, that is so cool.
Yeah.
Did you ever get a chance to take your son to like Walker Stock or anything?
Oh yeah, he's been around. Yeah.
Nice.
That's pretty awesome, man.
Not Walker Stock, but we've seen a little bit of the culture, and
Okay.
we got some friends out there who have been some walkers on some episodes as well. South side of Atlanta, you're gonna know a zombie or two.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, definitely,
Mhm.
definitely.
Yeah, I grew up in Noonan, so you're kind of close to me. So there you go.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The Southern Crescent.
Right? Have you done
So
any of the
you,
tours or anything like that, Will?
I haven't.
we got to fix
We've got
that.
got to.
Jimmy and Steven are tour guides and totally recommend them.
Okay, yeah, I'd love a good VIP extra love tour too, man.
Oh, they would. They
For
got
sure.
you.
Can we BYOB and bring an ice chest or something like that?
Oh
You can
yeah,
bring whatever you want.
mine's in the entertainment district on a golf cart, so you can bring whatever.
Yep. Yep.
Open container now.
And then Jimmy's out in the middle of nowhere, so you can bring whatever to that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in Harrelson, so we actually were. Merle died and Daryl cried, and also where the Governor Rick met in the meeting barns where I actually do tours at. So
Oh, that's
had
cool.
a lot of fun. Yeah, me
I
and
know
Steve
the
have been
road.
around for a little while.
I know the one little gas station in Harrelson.
Oh, Williams,
Oh,
man.
okay.
Everybody knows about that gas station. The thing was, I walked in there one day and Guy Fieri was behind the counter cooking, and I'm like,
What?
see this? Yeah,
That's
no joke.
crazy.
Guy Fieri was
No
in there.
way.
I got a picture with it, man. He was in there
That's
cooking. I was
crazy.
like,
I
what
want
in
to
the
see this
hell?
picture. Are you sure
I
it
wanna
wasn't
see
just
this
some
picture.
guy?
Hey, I will send it to you after the show. I will post it on the podcast page. But yeah, it was Guy Fieri. No joke. It was
That's
him and
crazy.
Rutledge Woods. They were there
Oh,
hanging
yeah,
out.
Rutledge is in the area.
Rutledge.
Yeah,
Rutledge
Rutledge.
lives nearby. I see
Yeah.
Rutledge from time to time. We text every couple years. I have to say happy holidays to him. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
All
know,
right,
yeah,
that's cool.
Woods lives right in Sonoya, and like
His
I see him all the
parents.
time. But that day he had Fieri with him. I was like, I got to get a picture with Fieri. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
His
supposedly
parents.
that's the biscuits. That's the morning biscuit spot right there, the gas station in here.
Oh yeah, definitely. Everybody thinks I'm playing, but like, y'all got to at least try the food. And everybody's like, no, man, I ain't going to a gas station to try the food, dude.
That is awesome.
Didn't his parents own Katie Lou's?
They did. Rutledge Woods' parents did own Kitty Lou's. It's recently
That's where
closed,
I
but
met him.
Yeah.
So he knows
Okay.
the place for your basic biscuit on Highway 16 or 85 or 74 or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's 85. Yeah,
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah. They that's like right across the street from the store. So yeah, you're over there near me.
That's
So-
wild.
Dawn
So
actually sent me a video of you playing Woodstock. What was that like, man?
Well, yeah, Woodstock 94 was crazy. Woodstock 99 was different. 94 was the one that was like that would have been the year we were signed as well. We were signed in
Oh, wow.
1994. So by the end of 1994, I should say end August, late summer, we're playing Woodstock in front of 350, 400,000 people. The lowest estimates are 350,000 people.
Wow.
Endless sea of humanity. And we played on Friday night before the rains came, so it was pretty special. I saw King's X play in front of that same crowd, and they were basically my heroes at that point. And then we played with a bunch of our contemporaries who ended up having a long career as well. Blues Traveler played that night. Live played that night. Candlebox played that night. I'm probably somebody. But we had an amazing night that Friday night, 94. And they did re-release the digital enhanced or whatever footage of that about 5 years ago. It's all over YouTube. It's crazy to see. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, we were just watching it behind me. And
did you notice me?
Yeah, we did notice it. Me and Casey was talking about it, and Don actually, showed all this to us, and we was like, wow, that was like, he was so young, it's crazy. I don't think I was like 13 at that time. So yeah.
I was in high school. I graduated in 95, and I got y'all CDs, man.
Yeah, cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's been cool adjusting to being the old one in the crowd. It's been great.
I hear you, man.
I think I'm the old one in the crowd.
That's awesome.
So when you played Woodstock, that was when was that when Shine was still kind of like an underground hit, or had it like broken?
Yeah, summer '94. That was #1 rock song of '94. That was the summer you couldn't get it off the radio station.
That's right.
Yeah.
And yeah, and by all accounts, the loudest that the crowd was the whole weekend that Friday night when they were singing "Shine."
Dude, that is
It's
awesome.
on the it's on the soundtrack. You know, they're in unison. The weather is clear. Everybody's happy. It's Friday night. And then Saturday
awesome.
the rains came. But yeah, it was fun, man. It was an amazing memory.
That is great.
That must have been a hell of a ride, man. Just to be honest with you.
It was. I look back and I just try to think about what I remember and what I have forgotten.
Right.
It'll come up with what I've forgotten. I've forgotten more than I remember.
That's that whole age thing, right?
Now, guys in the audience, if you want to start asking questions to Will, y'all are more than welcome to do it, just like we do every episode. I have my phone on tonight, so Casey's going to have to read off your questions. But y'all are more than welcome to ask questions as we go.
I'll start scrolling through them. Hey, Will, you said you were joining us from a studio. Can you talk a little bit about the studio you're in?
Yeah, man, that's a good question. I'm proud of this place. My father opened the studio in 1976.
Reel to reel.
Wow.
Yeah, Reel to Reel Studios. So it's
awesome.
Definitely the oldest studio on the books in Georgia, the oldest recording studio. I mean, my dad was a guy that would read a book. He needed a recording studio to take care of his habit as a musician and as a songwriter. But he would get a book and he'd read it and he'd do it, man. So he opened up a studio in 76. The place I'm at right now was built in 2003. I wish I could give y'all a little virtual tour, but it's Reel to Reel on Facebook and the website. And we got some pictures up there, a little 360 tour. But yeah, man, 1976. This is where Collective Soul was. This is where we came from, and my father started a little legacy that I'm still proud to continue today, man.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
That is a hell of a thing, man.
Now, is your son into music, and maybe you pass it on to him, or?
Yeah, they all three are good musicians, but yeah, Tristan is definitely a great songwriter, player. He plays out. Luke is an amazing drummer. He's 15 years old.
Oh wow!
Jude plays really good guitar. He likes flying planes too, but they've all had music around them their whole life, just like I did, and just like Ed and Dean did growing up. We grew up in a small community, and both of our parents always supported us, and music and musical instruments, they were around us our whole lives.
That's amazing.
That's cool.
So you got to play Howard Stern, huh?
Yeah. Howard's
I'm so jealous of that. I love Howard Stern.
Yeah, man. When he took a liking to us, so to speak, that was a big shot in the arm. That feels good, man. He's a strong voice, and I love him too, man. He's been great to us.
And if he likes you, you're doing something right, man. Because he'll tell you. Yeah, he'll tell you if you're doing something wrong.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Casey.
I was gonna say we do have one question from the website. Will, who's your son's favorite character?
I don't know. Tristan's more peculiar than I am. He would definitely end up talking to you for about 30 minutes. You'd have to cut him off, and he would never give you an answer.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Sounds like an awesome fan.
I don't know, man. I don't know favorites. Man, this is hard when you got the writing and the character development in these modern day stories, and this is like one of the best ones out there as far as what's happened in the modern day of film and what we considered series. The writing's so deep. It's like it's not even favorites. It's not even relative hardly,
Right.
But it's a fun thing to talk about, and I get that because I'm in an industry where we stay up late at night in a tour bus still talking about anything from our favorite guitar solo to our favorite saxophone solo to our favorite yacht rock song. It's fun to talk about.
That's cool.
But sometimes it's kind of futile.
Oh, what's your favorite yacht rock song? Is it mine's Steve Winwood, High Life?
In the high life.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm into this. I'm into one that's like, God, what's his name? Because I've been getting on these yacht rock playlists, so now I'm like finding some obscure yacht rock, and
Oh.
really, the name of the song is Magnet and Steel. Oh gosh, I can't remember the name of the artist right now. I've put it on repeat. It was a '70s, one of those '70s artists that goes by just their name. There's so many '70s artists that are just by their name, and they have like one or two songs. All right, well, we'll get back to that later. I'll
Yeah.
It's on my playlist. If I hit a couple buttons on my phone, I know I'll find it.
Right, right.
So let's see. When were you at Florida State? You went to Florida State, didn't you? And Georgia State.
Yeah, Florida State was the first 2 years after high school.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah, loved it there. It was a huge music school, the biggest in the Southeast, still is.
I didn't realize that.
Loved it there. Loved my time there. It was very symphonic related. I was really interested in really into the percussion side of symphonies and orchestras, and that's what I was doing there at Florida State. I was specializing in that on a full scholarship. So
Wow.
went down there and played music for a couple years. I didn't fail out. I did good, but I had to come back to Atlanta, a bigger town. There was a girl involved I ended up marrying and having kids with.
All right, congrats. That's awesome.
And some best friends that I ended up getting in a band with and signing with.
Just a little thing.
Yeah, just a few little things that drug me back to Atlanta. But yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, and then so I transferred to Georgia State.
Nice.
And majored in what? Percussion?
Well, once I transferred to Georgia State, I was a percussion performance major at Florida State, and then Georgia State was music production.
Gotcha.
Which is a really cool progressive program. Georgia State, Kennesaw State really has a good program as well. Just overall music industry type relative to what's real in the world kind of programs.
Right. Did you ever think Atlanta would be the next little Hollywood?
No, never would have thought that at all. And I'm in
Yeah,
Peach City, and I'm like solid 7 miles from Trilith, one of the largest film production studios in the world.
Mhm.
It's crazy, right?
Never would have thought it. Yeah.
Have you gotten the chance to look around Trilith, or let's see, what was it before? Pinewood?
Yeah, Pinewood. Yeah, I mean, I drive through there all the time. I mean, I'll see anything from like a 80-foot green screen with a fake building in front of it where they're filming Marvel Studio stuff to
What?
yeah, you just glance over, and then some of the buildings are so big, whatever's going on inside you never really see. But
Gotcha.
Yeah, I drove by there about 4 months ago, and the whole backyard was on fire. And I'm like, what are they filming down there today? I'm like, wow.
you'll
Like,
see the movie later.
yeah, exactly. Wow.
Did you call it in?
No, I was like just normal Sunday stroll because I went up there to see the doctor, and it just happened to be up there.
That's crazy. We got another question from a fan. Wesley wants to know who influenced your music.
Yeah, I mean, 80s. We were kids of the 80s. We were heavily influenced by the late 60s, 70s. Elton John, The Who, Led Zeppelin, The Beatles, Wings, Pink Floyd. But the stuff that really we got into was the 80s. And a lot of it was considered new wave or even alternative. What was really popular in rock in the 80s wasn't necessarily our most favorite thing as far as the hair bands and what was going on in Southern California.
Yep.
But yeah, REMs, the U2s, NXS, those things were like big in our lives.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But yeah, I mean, all those things, and once you got the Beatles in there, it doesn't matter. You got all influences in one band.
Yeah,
right.
Beatles is the best.
We got another question from Anissa online.
So many good songs. I see it.
Yeah, do you have a favorite song from maybe
No,
The
I
Walking
don't. I
Dead?
can't think of one by name, but I have went back and looked at who did that song and who did that song, and I can't remember anything right now
Right.
by name. But they've done a good job of the soundtrack. I've kind of like even early on, I knew it was being produced so close to me. I kind of wanted to try to get in touch with somebody, but their stuff is so good. I'm like, oh well, I can't really tell them I can do better than that. So they're not getting in touch with.
That's awesome.
But you've got some solo stuff too, right?
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah. 2 solo records. And I play out all the time. I play out solo. December 23rd at Southern Roots in McDonough.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Nice.
It's an annual show I do for Christmas every year. It's a big fun show. It'll be a packed crowd, and I get tired of hawking tickets to all my friends, but I promise you'll have fun.
No, that's great.
Yeah,
Is that
when
on
is
your
it coming
Facebook
out?
page? Yeah, I want to check it
Yeah,
out.
it's on my Facebook, and I'll post some more stuff coming up here soon. But
All right.
ticket link. Southern Roots in McDonough, really cool music venue.
Nice.
And our viewers will be watching for it, and we'll share it on our Facebook too.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely will.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's fun. I do anything from like real Christmas songs to a Beatles song. You know, by the end of the night, you're just like, what did I go through? But that was fun.
What's your favorite Beatles song?
Favorite Beatles song. I mean, listen, since the Let It Be documentary's going on, I'll say I saw Paul over there hammering out Let It Be on part 1. So right now, Let It Be is
Nice.
I'll give it a Let It Be.
Do you watch any of the?
Go ahead, Stephen. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, do you watch any of the spin-offs? Any of the Walking Dead spin-off shows?
Definitely. Fear. I know every episode of Fear. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Okay, cool.
Not World Beyond though.
Better
right?
than these guys.
Man, I couldn't grab onto it, but I will. But
Thank you.
Once there's nothing else for me to watch, whether it's Fear, I'll go back and watch those 3 seasons of the other one that I didn't
Right.
watch it at some point.
Yeah, Don's
Yeah,
been
it's
getting on
over
to.
now.
We haven't been watching
Don,
World
was it
Beyond
3
either.
seasons?
I think it was 2.
2 and out.
Yeah, 2 and out.
2 and out.
Yeah,
Yep.
and supposedly that was like always the plan. Supposedly.
I got through like 4 episodes, and I didn't dislike it. I just didn't. You know, it's hard to have the same hooks as any original.
Right.
Any original, it can always be said about any original. There's only one time that you can be the first and be the original.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Why there's a word called the original. Yeah.
Well, they do say it gets better. It gets better in season 2. Because I didn't like season 1 either, but I'm going to go back and watch 2 when I have the time. I mean, both of them.
You need to.
It didn't put hooks in me, but I guarantee if I just watch it, I'll guarantee I'll like it.
Nice.
I tried to like it. I couldn't do it. I really did. It was kind of kiddish, but I mean, everybody in the comments loves it, but I just couldn't get hold to it.
We'll
We
see.
got
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
We got a question
Yeah,
from
watch.
Michelle. Is there a particular artist or group that you've loved to perform with today? Would you love to perform with?
Yeah, that's a good question. Okay, so if people ask me, and I'll kind of combine it with another question. People ask me a lot of times too, like, what's the thing you like most about what you've been offered as a career? You know, the last 27 years, and other than being able to afford whatever lifestyle me and my family have, you know, everybody's got to make money. It's meeting other artists and peers and being around certain people and sharing the stage with certain people that means the most to me. So the thing about this answer is it's actually people who I've performed with already. I want to perform with Sammy Hagar and Michael Anthony again. I love playing with them. We've been playing with them since '95, and they supposedly we're possibly talking about some shows with them next year.
Okay.
And you know, the guys we just got off the road with, Tonic, Emerson Hart. I mean, he's one of my favorite artists of all time. Better Than Ezra, my buddies in Better Than Ezra, we've known them for so long.
Nice.
Gin Blossoms, I miss them. We toured with them 2 years ago. So maybe like something like that. That's the people it's not necessarily people I haven't toured with, but it's just always about tomorrow and what's next and how can we build upon what we've already established, kind of thing. And see friends.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah. Anybody got any more questions? Are we gonna go to the thing, or you want me to do it?
What thing?
I mean, you go back to. I can't see the comments, so I can't read them.
I can't see them either.
I usually dictate everything, but I cannot see.
Came in there on what thing? I mean, that was a wide open shot right there.
Yeah, you could have messed with me all day. It's fine. I mean, I can come up with my own questions. Go ahead.
I have a question.
Ahead,
like, we all talk about locations of the show and our favorite location. If you could go to a location on the show from your favorite episode or season, where would that be?
That's a tough one.
I mean, I've got an affinity, I guess that's the right word, with the Flint River, and I've always liked the history with the Flint River. The pictures of FDR at the Flint River, like back in the 40s, late 30s. And then I've canoed and just grown up around the whole Flint River. Any of the scenes where they really use the Flint River, those are some of my favorite spots.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's where the governor's girlfriend's daughter ended up getting ate by the walker. And also the walker went through the actual river itself. Is what you're talking about.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
That was actually filmed down in Thomaston, by the way, at Spruill Bluffs. You ever been down there, Will?
Yeah, Spruill Bluff. Yeah. Absolutely. Canoed right past there a number of times. Exactly.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, Spruill. That's an awesome location, too. Very, very pretty, especially during the summer. Very awesome.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah,
and that's why I like it.
Yeah.
We got another question from Facebook. From Crystal, what is your favorite Christmas song?
My favorite Christmas song. Well, I mean, it's not necessarily an uplifting melody, but it's called, I think it's called Christmas Song. It's Vince Girardi, the Snoopies. It's from the Snoopies Christmas films.
I gotcha.
30-minute shows, whatever they were called. Vince Girardi jazz trio. But da 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 da.
Yep.
That's my favorite Christmas song.
Yeah. That is a nice one.
So are you a big fan of anything else? You part of any other fandoms like Marvel? You like Marvel stuff?
I love the films, and I keep just enough where I know what's going on, and I dig it. I dug it when I was a kid. Yeah, I mean, I was a child of the 80s. I mean, DC and Marvel was everything. So I dig it, but yeah, I'm not super fanatical about it. I'm super fanatical about microphones and preamps and stuff. You want to see some of that? Yeah.
Right. No, that's awesome.
No, and I've played all the video games too. I love video games, and I'm pretty. I'd fit in just fine at Comic-Con. I'd be fine. I'd understand what's going on. So
you probably know a little bit of something about the 4-player Ninja Turtles arcade. Then
I'm finding 3 friends and rushing towards it.
Yes.
The one that I really, really want, I told my family this is what I want for Christmas. It's NBA Jams. I want Jams.
Yep.
Classic. I want to be able to choose between the teams. I want to be able to choose certain players.
Yes. I got to introduce you.
They're only about 3,500, Donna, if you're watching.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Or you can go.
You
can get the arcade 1-up. It's a smaller version. It's like $400 or $500.
Yep. You gotta kneel down real hard though.
I would want to have the big one.
Yeah.
I saw him. I can't do it. It's got to be the big one or no, because lately I've been finding them totally refurbished. It's kind of the cool thing in every town when I tour around now. I look for the vintage arcade game room that's got really good refurbished games.
Yep.
And once you go back to the originals and they're working properly, that's what you have. That's what you have to have. Yeah,
right.
about 3,500 for one.
So what's your team of choice on NBA Jam?
Yeah.
What?
What's your team of choice? Yeah.
You know, the other day, me and Dean were crushing it with Portland, which is kind of a wild card, but we were crushing it with
Drexler.
We had Drexler and Porter on the outside.
Yeah, Porter.
Oh, no, I used to play with Atlanta Hawks all the time because you had Muggsy and you had Dominique, and they just messed it up, man, for real.
Hawks were a sexy 80s team.
Yeah, they were awesome, man.
Orlando, man. Orlando had Scott Skiles, Hardaway. I don't remember who the third was, though.
Yeah, there's always three. You could rotate and choose.
I think it was Horace Grant at the time.
So y'all are agreeing that like the original NBA Jams is if you have to take up square footage in your space and you only got so much square footage. You got a foosball table, you got NBA Jams, you got Ninja Turtles, possibly Gauntlet.
Oh, Gauntlet.
Only choose one. Which one do you choose?
That's a hard choice between Ninja Turtles and NBA Jam. I don't know.
All four of those games and can
NBA Jam, because that can give you years of pleasure when you got friends over and everything. You know what I mean? I mean, so can the Turtles one, but it's more competitive with the NBA Jam. That can just give you all kind of years of like victory and pleasure.
So cool.
Well, you can catch on fire and just dominate too, man.
On fire.
Not just play that and dominate.
You know, the super cool thing I like about that game is you pick a player and you are that player the whole game. There's no all of a sudden switching to the closest guy to whoever the attacker is or whatever.
Right.
And it's pretty evenly matched. Like I remember always getting pissed because I was really good and like friends that weren't so good. You know, it just takes that. It's just sometimes it's just the chance. Of course, there's a skill where you let go at the last minute on the threes. But you know what I mean? But still, you can just get, I mean, like almost outmatched by somebody that doesn't play near as much as you. I used to get infuriated at that.
Well, kind of. Yeah, you're right. You can make some shots, but it's a skill. It's a good skill-based game.
Oh yeah, totally. Because you can goaltend like crazy.
Three buttons. Oh, dude, that's my. It's hard to time out not getting the goaltend. I'm bad about the goaltend.
Yeah,
I'm bad about
it's
that.
Hard.
Well, since we're on the subject of basketball games, let me ask you this. Do you remember a game that used to be, I hope this ain't like a Mandela effect or something, but it used to be in arcades and it was called Run and Gun.
Yes.
It was basketball and it had like
Neo Geo.
Yeah, it had 3 or 4 screens. Now that was a good basketball game.
Whoa, dude, that's drawing a blank. I'm probably older than I was playing rock stages.
Yeah, it was.
That was drawing a blank. Run and Gun. That was drawing a total blank.
It may have been before NBA Jam. I'm almost 40. I'm about to be 40.
I'm 50 and I haven't heard of that game.
I never heard of it either. I'm 40.
Oh, I got you, Steven. That's a good game. I have that.
It was, but it never came out on anything but the arcade.
Right.
Neo Geo
came out on Neo Geo, but that system's like $700.
Oh, that system.
He might be right. He might have been on stage when it came out because it was Neo Geo's around 95, 95-ish. Yeah.
Arcade games were still popular right through the mid 90s. You could still go to arcade and play games. And then by 96, 97, it's
right after the Mortal Kombat's that it started to die down.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat. So yeah, I just love that. That's what I do now. If I wake up on the bus or in a hotel room and I've got hours to spend, the first thing I do is look for a vintage arcade room and I look at the reviews to see if all their games work right. Because now that you're a connoisseur of how how they're supposed to work.
Yeah.
When I show up to a place where button no, oop, that joystick then I'm pissed. Then it didn't even help me out at all that day. I'm just pissed,
What you got,
Will, I got to introduce you to some emulators. This is a arcade stick with the buttons.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's got the roller ball in the middle.
And it's got, you can play Asteroids with
it. Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
love getting on some asteroids.
I've
That was
got
laundromat when I was 10 years old. So go back 40 years old, asteroids in the laundromat.
Oh yeah, I remember them
Quarter.
days. But with the emulators, you could play. I have you could play NBA Jam and you could play Ninja Turtles and all that. It's fun.
I think you're saying it's not quite the same, though. I think
It's
that's
the
what it's
same, but
saying.
I would love it. I would definitely love it.
Oh, yeah.
NBA Jams, when you got 4 guys around it, or Ninja Turtles, you got 4 guys. I'm saying guys in a very 2021 way. That means like whatever you identify with, you know.
Right. Sure. No, it's fun.
Whenever you got 4 people around the machine and everybody's working in tandem, that's what I really used to always get some extra adrenaline out of. 4 people, either 2 on 2 or 4 people on the same team is awesome.
Right.
Well,
yeah, I've got 2 of those sticks. So I could do 4-player Ninja Turtles, 4-player NBA Jam, 4-player X-Men. It's fun stuff.
Oh, 4-player X-Men was right when I was like, I was getting too old. Right when I was getting too old, right around 22 years old, and then signed to Atlantic Records a year later. I wasn't the arcades anymore. I loved it though.
Yep, that's awesome, man.
Donkey Kong and Tron are my 80s go-tos.
Yes.
If I go to a good vintage arcade room, it's Donkey Kong and Tron. Those are definitely 1 and 2, and then Miss Pac-Man's just to see how far I can get. I mean, right. I'm crushing Miss Pac-Man almost every time. Something about Miss Pac-Man I've always been pretty good at. I think it was because actually I know why. Because I remember when my wife beat me at Miss Pac-Man before we were serious about dating, and then I had to get good at Miss Pac-Man. Because she was good at it, and I had to beat her.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Y'all really competitive with the video games?
Not anymore, but we've had our moments. I tell you, the one that was fun on the big screen in the living room that me and the 3 boys and Donna, we all got into was Mario Kart. And I can still turn on Mario Kart today with a Wii, and that's a fun freaking game, man. Mario Kart's another one. You get 4 people on Mario Kart, that's a fun game.
Yep, that's classic.
Yep. So we had fun. That was the most recent thing we had fun with as a family.
Yep. Maria on Facebook is asking, have you played any of the Walking Dead games or anything like that?
I played one of the first apps on my phone, I played spinoffs on PlayStation. I played one of the spinoffs on PlayStation. I played it all. What's the name of it?
The Telltale Games.
The Telltale Games.
Yeah, it was Telltale.
With
I got
Clementine.
Second one. Yeah, Clementine. Yep, I got into the second one of those. Yep.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Those are really good.
Yeah, those are cool.
I highly recommend all those, and you can get them all on Switch right now.
Switch is the cool thing right now. I'm digging how Switch works.
Yeah.
For a family or just when you want to have like 4 people on certain games, you can do anything from Pac-Man to what you're talking about to the Walking Dead. Play with Clementine. Yeah, I didn't get through the second one, but I got all the way through the first one on Clementine and her journey.
Nice. Yeah, I like playing a little Tecmo Bowl on my Switch.
Yeah, dude, I used to crush Tecmo Bowl. Cliff and
Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson, unfair.
Bo Jackson, game over.
It wasn't fair.
That was 1990. We would be betting on Tecmo Bowl.
No way.
Oh yeah. $20 a game.
That's crazy. No way. They actually there's people out there who've actually updated Tecmo Bowl, like fans. And so it has like all 32 teams now.
That's awesome.
It's pretty wild.
Hey, Will, when you were coming up and first got started, who was your favorite band to go on tour with Collective Soul?
Yeah, I mean, that goes, well, right after Woodstock, we toured with Aerosmith. We played every amphitheater.
Oh, wow.
In the U.S. with Aerosmith. But really, I mean, the very next year, it was all the arenas with Van Halen, Sammy Hagar, Eddie Van Halen, Michael Anthony. They took us underneath their wings. Like, when I look back, I'm like, oh my gosh, they treated us like little brothers, and it was. I can't tell you how impactful that was in my life.
That's awesome.
Heck, you want to see the bass Eddie Van Halen gave me right now?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Oh, look at all those.
Hopefully, I won't break it.
Don't break it.
No
Eddie
doubt.
Van Halen gave me that bass
What?
right.
That's
beautiful,
awesome.
man. It's beautiful.
It's a Music Man, Bird's Eye Maple.
Wow.
He would walk us to sound check almost literally, probably played 25 shows with him, maybe 30. He would walk us to sound check almost every time. Eddie just wanted to always communicate and talk to people. I mean, best I can figure, there was no reason for him to be in my dressing room almost every time I showed up. Of course, he'd always have his guitar on his neck. But he set me up on that one. He even asked me, like, what do you want your next instrument to look like? What do you want your next bass to look like? I want it all black. I think I want to, and I actually thought about it. I was like, because I guess as a musician, he knows the questions to ask too, right? You're always thinking about what you want to buy next, your next instrument. But I was like, I want an all black 5-string bass. He set me up, but I didn't even see it coming.
That's amazing.
And he was with Music Man doing the EVH models with Ernie Ball and Music Man, and he got me a 5-string all black custom made Music Man bass.
Wow.
There it is. That was 1995.
Wow.
That's awesome.
In bands, bass players are always my favorite. I was wondering what was some of your inspirations, because Paul McCartney was my first, and then of course Gene Simmons, and then John Taylor of Duran Duran. Yeah.
I was just talking to my son today because, I was telling you I was hanging out with Tristan earlier, but we took a lunch break and a Duran Duran song came on. And I was like, dude, he's like, yeah, I realized how cool they were. I was like, dude, go listen to more songs and listen to the bass lines. John Taylor. Ooh.
New Religion is a good one.
One of the sickest bass players out there. People don't realize he is so good. He is good. Paul McCartney's obviously my favorite.
Yes.
Everybody who knows me knows that.
Yeah.
Who was it that asked me the other day? He's like, what's your favorite, or what's the favorite thing that Paul McCartney's done that you love? I was like, I love everything he's done.
Yeah.
Have you ever met Paul?
No.
Oh, I'd love to meet him.
Ed's been on the same conversation with him on the phone, but that's funny. It was live during the radio interview, but Sting would be definitely one of my biggest influences, and Adam Clayton from U2. Just good melodic bass players that play for the song. They play in the pocket, and they have a little melody to it. Seems to be the ones I'm attracted to. John Paul Jones from Led Zeppelin blows my mind. He plays the keyboards. He plays mandolin. Those are all my favorites. But I'm a student of all of them. I love John Entwistle. I love Chris Squire from Yes is one of my favorite bass players of all time.
Oh wow! Was bass your first instrument, or do you have other instruments you can play?
Definitely not my first. Kind of, I guess, like of the normal instruments, my last instrument. But
okay.
I tell everybody I'm a refugee on bass.
You play a little keyboard, don't you?
Yeah, piano was my first instrument, and percussion. Cool. Around the same time, I started playing piano and percussion. Around 8 years old.
That's what I was about to say. About 8 years old, I did a little research earlier.
Yeah. And I picked up a guitar around 12 years old, so I understood a fretboard and how that related to Western harmony and the piano.
Oh wow!
Music theory, and then really kind of focused on percussion, and but percussion always still fed the whole keyboard thing too, because I was playing marimbas and vibraphones and things like that, where there was a whole keyboard, and I was actually playing congas and playing tambourines and singing all the backups with Collective Soul, and I would be a sixth member. And then at one point, I remember picking up a phone when I came home from college, and you kind of, I think back and I'm like, you kind of knew when people would be home, because that was still like you had to pick up a phone in home in 1993.
Yep. Oh, I know them days.
Home, and I called Ed, and he answered. He actually answered at his parents' house, or I called him at his apartment. I don't know, but he answered. I was like, I'll commit to bass. And he's like, you sure you can play bass? And I said, I think I remember saying, change my best friend on drums. I think we'll be fine. I think I can play bass. He said, okay.
That's crazy. And the rest
Hey,
is history.
is it true that Southside Steve actually played y'all for the first time?
He's very, very, very close to being true. Album '88 played that song for the first time, but I mean, him saying that he's not wrong, but I'm not sure he's 100% right.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So Southside Steve he explains Southside Steve better than I can, but he's like a DJ that's in Atlanta forever, right?
He has been around forever, and he's a great friend. I love the heck out of him. But the guy who discovered that song at Album '88, that was Album. He was working at a Georgia State College radio station called Album '88, still around.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And the guy who discovered that song, who Dean gave him, I think a cassette of the song, was a guy named Sandy Fine, who became our tour manager and a great friend of ours. He's no longer with us, but he was a great friend of ours and really positive force in our life. But he's the one that discovered the song and first said, "Holy crap!" Literally, I mean, that's pretty well without bleeping me out.
Yeah.
And then Steve followed Sandy's suit on that one, but Steve was one of the first ones to play our song. But yeah, Sandy Fine was the guy who at Album '88 found that song, and his ears knew that song needed to be heard by more people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he was right.
Yeah, he was right.
He was right. Now, when you first started playing music, did you take lessons or were you self-taught early on?
Both. I mean, it was around me. I mean, I don't have a memory where there's not a musical instrument around me, but I did take piano lessons at 8 years old. 8 years old, and I remember about around 11 years old, I was always watching the teacher play when she would give me the example of what was on the music, and I'd watch her play and listen, and I could always just kind of know what was on the sheet music and play the song. And around 11 years old, like 3 years later, she goes, well, I was playing a song, and she's like, you're missing that note right there. I was like, wait, what, which note? And she realized I didn't really know. I kind of know. I know how to read music like 75, 80% there. But sure. I was playing. It looked like I was playing, like I could read some pretty complicated sheet music, but I was just watching other people's hands and listening to to what they were doing. But I was understanding the sheet music. But around 12 years old, 13 years old, I stopped taking lessons, and everything else is just whatever I absorbed. And like I said, it's always it's been a choice, but it's always kind of not been a choice. Music's been around me my whole life, and I just feel drawn to it. And then I was introduced to the quintessential documentary of Collective Souls coming out soon, within the next year and a half, hopefully.
Nice.
But it's just kind of a cool story how we came together and how we all are just musicians. We're artists and we make music.
Yeah, that's awesome. Would that be on a certain channel or something, or where can we look out for that?
Yeah, we're give it another 4 or 5 months. We'll know what channel.
Okay, awesome. No, I get it.
I vote Collective Soul does Rick Grimes' soundtrack for this movie.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Or just Will.
It's awesome, man. It's in Jonesboro. It's really close.
Oh, wow.
So, one of my favorite movies, Almost Famous, yay or nay?
Yeah, man. I got chills when I heard like Tiny Dancer on the soundtrack.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
One of my favorites, though, on that soundtrack is Mona Lisa's and Mad Hatter's by Elton John.
Ed Roland would hug you right now. He loves that song.
Yeah.
He loves that song, man. Ed's the one that really loves Elton John. Like, I loved him for sure, but that was a big influence for Ed.
Nice.
And now, for those who don't know, Ed, he's the lead singer?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Will, what do you think about the technology? You know, like how you were self-taught piano. You know, you took a couple lessons, but now people can
There's a
just
lot
jump
of
on.
lessons, but
Right.
it was both. It was both.
Okay. And then what do you think of how people can just jump on YouTube and just, learn that way? What do you think about how things have come along?
It makes sense to me.
Yep.
It makes sense to me. That's how we advance as human beings. That's how we advance as civilization. Everything is quicker. I mean, it's no
Yep.
different than saying, what do you think about the pen and paper? We used to have a chisel and stone. What do you mean?
True.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes total sense to me. This is where technology is, and let's get better in advance. I mean, there's so much out there that's so easily attainable that it gets kind of hard for people to navigate, and there's that. But other than that, it's just path of least resistance. Let's do it. Let's show if somebody's willing to show and take the time to do a good YouTube video. Look, I'm in Studio B at Reel to Reel. I can tell you my top 3 people I follow that tell me how to do things when my computer's not doing what I want it to do.
Oh, wow.
I know how to
Yeah.
make music, but even I, at 50 years old, I love the heck out of YouTube and going, Pro Tools won't lock in with tempo. How do you fix it?
Yeah.
I do that. I do that all the time. So I don't know if that's just, hey, every generation's gotten easier, right? That's kind of what you aim for, right?
Yeah.
But there's a give and take, and you kind of see it. Millennials have their reputation.
I've got a millennial myself.
Yeah, no, I mean, probably well deserved, but they've got their reputation,
Sure.
And it's not like our parents or our grandparents might not have said the same thing, but it's like it's getting wild. We're talking about. We just played for SpaceX. We played a show for SpaceX.
Oh wow!
We're putting civilians on the moon, or in space, not on the moon, but
that's crazy.
So it's getting wild.
You ever think that would happen?
Well, I didn't even think about that. I mean,
yeah, for real.
I didn't think about it.
That's crazy.
You have a new favorite band that came out here recently?
21 Pilots is not recent. That's the last 6 years. Their new record came out recently. It's solid. I got a lot of bands that came out in the last 10 years. Maybe not somebody so recent. Tame Impala's good. There's a bunch of good bands out there. Young the Giant came out about 10, 12 years ago. Check out their music. So much good rock and roll.
Have you heard Greta Van Fleet yet? What do you think about that?
Sure. Yeah. Played a festival with them in Milwaukee, yeah. And made a point to get my ass up out of my bunk in the bus and go see them.
Nice.
Now they're good kids, man. Good kids. Great rock band. Good rock band.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of enjoying them right now.
They sound like Led Zeppelin. That shouldn't be a knock. That shouldn't be a negative thing. That should be like, okay, yeah, they borrowed some flavor. Let's see where they go from there, But they're a great rock band.
That's cool.
So, how do you hope The Walking Dead ends?
Oh, it will never end. This universe will be around when I'm dead.
The original show, though, the main show. How do you want it to wrap up?
Yeah.
What they created is gonna last forever. The original show, how it ends, I have no idea. I don't know.
You want Rick to come back?
Carol are gonna kiss, get married.
I'm gonna rage quit.
You just hurt Steven's feelings on that one.
Nah. Yeah, but I guess we're all just hoping that Rick Grimes shows back up, man. That's got to be one. That's got to be in there.
Yeah.
That's a good point, because I've already started wondering that, and then I got through halfway, and I thought to myself, they don't give a crap about Rick Grimes. Rick Grimes is going to be on a spinoff. I think he's going to be on a spinoff. I don't think they care about wrapping any kind of big loose ends up. I think they're good with spinoffs. I think they're good with leaving up, leaving some open ends here and there.
Right,
I mean,
right.
it just leaves more creativity for them to dwell in,
I think he's right. Yeah, I really do.
Well,
I really think he's
it-
right.
I think so.
It's
I
always
don't
been
think
my
they give a
theory.
shit about Rick Grimes on this season. I don't.
It's always been my theory that they're going to show him at the last minute and
Yes.
like it's going to be a cliffhanger to the movies and the spinoffs. Like you're going to see him, but it's just going to be like a little turn around and look kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Mhm.
when that happens, I will dig the hell out of it. Okay, you're in.
Yeah.
I'm in with you on that. I'll dig the shit out of that.
Yep.
And unless I'm on tour, I'll be watching it at Nick and Norman's. So
There you go. I'll
Nice.
be there.
That's
I'll be
awesome.
there. I'll be there
We'll be
hosting
there.
it again.
We'll be there.
Oh yeah.
So how did your team do on the trivia? I don't remember. You remember I hosted the trivia that night?
yeah, we
Yeah.
got there a little late. I mean, there's no way I'm going to answer everything right. So, I mean, you know me. I'm in a rock band. I can't show up early.
Yeah.
Right?
Give me some credit, man.
No doubt. What did you eat that night? Do you have a favorite at Nick and Norm's?
I like the barbecue potato nachos kind of. It's all barbecue and it's nacho style, but it's just potatoes, not tortillas.
Right. I think I had that. It's like a loaded, yeah.
The loaded potato, but it's barbecue. It's barbecue.
Yes.
There you go.
You got to rip. You got to rip.
He's got the shirt.
I always got the shirt. Sure. But yeah, I love making Norms. It's actually pretty cool there to go hang out on Saturday nights and just kind of shoot the breeze. Really
Yeah,
is.
Bar. I love a good bar, and that's a good bar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I said I host trivia, but I need to correct myself real quick before my wife kicks me out. Me and my wife host
Yeah, I
the
saw her.
trivia.
I
Yeah.
saw-
Yeah, I can't see her in the comments, but I can.
Hey,
I can
Monica.
visualize.
I can't see the comments, yeah, but I slipped up. It's a little slip. We do it. I couldn't do it without her. For real.
I can see her coming behind you right now.
Oh, that's cool. Right? Steven won't be sleeping on the couch.
There you go.
Correct. And also, I'll take the same thing Will asked for as far as the NBA Jam arcade. I want the original too.
That's the one. If you got to take up that much square footage in your house, you got only space for that one game, whether it's foosball or anything that's kind of square where 4 people can play. It's NBA Jams.
I hear you on that.
Upset.
And I'm the Bulls.
$3,500 for the original,
That's awesome.
plus shipping.
Plus
Good luck.
shipping.
That ain't bad for shipping.
That
to be
ain't-
honest. That's a big old thing.
Hey, there's a place up here in Chattanooga, close to where I live. I live at the north tip of Georgia.
Oh,
in
yeah?
Ringgold.
Yeah.
And there's a place in Chattanooga where you can come, just tell them what they want built, and they have a big warehouse just full of old.
Yeah, heck yeah. All right, tell them I want NBA Jams. Let's talk.
Yeah,
Wow.
Chattanooga pinball.
Okay, so Ringgold, the Battle of Ringgold Gap. That's one of the most.
Oh yeah,
That's one of the most interesting stories from the Civil War, man. What a cool story.
Oh wow.
yeah. We got a little monument and everything to it here.
Really cool story.
Definitely lots of Civil War history around this area.
Yeah.
It's the graveyard of the Civil War, man. That's where
Yeah.
we live.
Yep.
Anybody else got any other questions?
No,
I think I'm good, man. I just can't believe I just spent an hour talking with Will.
I know.
Turpin,
That's pretty awesome.
collective
And
Bull,
poor-
who's-
I mean, I tried to transition into history.
right?
Where are we going?
and
Let's
poor
do
Will.
that.
We just keep bombarding him with questions.
I know, right?
Just don't ask me what my favorite anything is. I don't like favorites. No, I'm just kidding.
Gotcha.
Oh man, we'd be screwed.
Well, what's
Yeah,
your
no, that's
favorite battle? What's your favorite Civil War battlefield in around Atlanta area? There you go. Let's do the favorite.
Right?
Ringgold Gap's got
Ringgold
the coolest
Gap.
story. It's got the coolest story, man. Cool story, man. And And you get to say it's a cool story because there's not a lot of deaths. Also, it's just a cool story.
Gotcha. I have to look that up. That's crazy.
Ringgold Gap, man.
Hey, y'all can come visit anytime. It's right down the road.
It's really cool. It's really
All
cool.
right. I have to do that.
And you'll understand. Check it out. You'll understand what a gap is.
All right.
Cool. All right, guys. Will, I'd like to thank you for being here with us tonight, man. It's been a pleasure.
Man,
And
thank you so
really
much.
awesome meeting you.
Yeah.
Awesome, guys.
Enjoyed it.
Yes, sir.
We want to go ahead and thank our sponsors real quick.
Mhm.
Walking Dead Harrelson Tours, Autorats Plus, Walking Dead Abraham's Army, Water Tower Tours, The Camp, Survive the Night. Walking Dead fans are amazing, and Walking Dead Horror Nation. I also like to thank the Patreons. I thank them as a whole this time, guys. We appreciate y'all. Will, man, it's been a definite pleasure. Awesome to hang out with you, man. Anytime you want to be on the show, just reach out to us. We'll hook you up, man.
Let's talk soon, man. We'll hang out at Nick and Norman's too, man. Y'all
Well,
take
this
care.
is also our official invitation for you to take a tour anytime, man.
Yes.
Anytime,
All right,
man.
let's do that too. I'm home.
Yes.
You
This
got
is
my number, Will?
My zone when I'm home, all the way through like February and March before I get
Awesome.
busy.
Well, just
Awesome.
send me a text and I'll get up with Steven and we'll hook it up, okay?
Oh heck yeah! I'm gonna get a
And
group. That's gonna be fun.
Gotcha, man.
And what's the best way for people to look you up? Facebook and follow
Yeah,
you?
Facebook, Instagram, Will Turpin, and Collective Soul.
All right.
Yeah, I'll go right to it.
We'll share it on our page, man. Thank you again so much, Will.
Yeah, cheers, y'all. Thank you.
Yes,
Have a good
sir.
night, guys.
Good night,
next time.
everyone.
See you.